Now student, we will start the next topic from class 10th science, acid, base and salt. And now today we will start the universal indicator. Universal indicators. This universal indicators is a scale. It is a scale which is used to measure the presence of hydrogen ion, means measure scale which is used to measure the presence of hydrogen ion. Presence of hydrogen ion. Hydrogen ion means H plus. H plus. Hydrogen ion concentration. Universal indicators is a scale which is used to measure the presence of hydrogen ion concentration in a given solution. In a given solution which has different in color. Which has different in color means presence of hydrogen ion in a given solution of different color. Given solution of different color. Different color means the color will also show a particular number, and that number is the pH number. Universal indicators is also known as pH indicator. pH indicator. pH indicators means pH scale. This is pH scale. pH scales means with a given number, pH number, with a given pH number, one can identify the given solution is acid, base or neutral. And this, with the help of this pH number, we can identify the color of the given solution. If the color is given, then easily we can identify it is acid, base or salt, and with that color we can identify the pH number of that solution. pH scale, the range of pH scale is from 0 to 14. 0 to 14. The range of pH scale is 0 to 14. Here is the range of pH scale is 0 to 14. It is a scale. Here is 0, here is 14, here is 7. This one. This shaded portion is represented the hydrogen ion. This will be hydrogen ion and this will be hydroxide ion. This will be hydroxide ion. This is 0 to 7. It represents if the pH number is from 0 to 7, not include 7, means pH if less than 7, like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 6.9 up to 6, up to less than 7, means pH is less than 7, then the given solution show acidic in nature. Acid in nature. If the pH is 7, if pH is equal to 7, if pH number on a pH scale, the measuring the number is 7, then it is neutral. Then it is neutral, means neither acid nor base. And the pH if greater than 7, mean we can say 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and 14. This will be basic in nature. If pH is 7, it is neutral, and less than 7, it is acidic in nature, and more than 7 and less than equal to 14, it is basic in nature. It means from left to right, the hydrogen ion concentration will decrease. From left to right, hydrogen ion will decrease, means the acidity of the solution, acidic nature of the solution will decrease, and from right to left, the nature of acidity, nature of solution which is acidic in nature, means acidity of the solution will increase. We can find out the simple result. If pH number is less, then it is more acidic in nature. If pH number is more, then it is less acidic nature, we can say more basic in nature. Here is 0, 0 means basic is 0, means the solution is not in basic, 100% acidic mean most acidic in nature, it is most acidic in nature. If pH is equal to 0, more acidic in nature. And if the pH is 14, that means it is most basic in nature. We can say that if the pH is 14, it is alkaline. It is alkaline means they are generally most basic in nature. If generally we will ask if the A and B are the two solution and their pH number is 8 and 13, which is strong base. Strong base is 13 means B, and 8 whose pH number is 8, which is A, is less basic in nature. Mean we can say less basic than the B. And if we have given 8 and 6 and 5, which is the strongest acidic in nature? If the pH is 3, which is less, that is strongest acidic in nature. It is more strong acidic in nature. It is also acid in nature but less acidic in nature. Here is, if pH is 8, that means it is basic in nature. More pH, less acid. More pH, less acid. Less pH, more acid. Simply result. Means we can say, if you find the result, more pH, less acid, or we can say more basic, and less pH means more acidic in nature, more acid, and basic is very less in base. Less pH mean more acidic in nature. Strongest acid we can say. Now, if the pH is 14, that means the solution is complete. No, the pH will indicate the color is red. And now move to next topic. In everyday life, we have seen the pH of our body. Our body is work on the pH of 7 to 7.8, which is very narrow. It means we can say our body work on pH 7 to 79, which is basic in nature, means our body work on the basis, means solution inside our body will work only when the pH will be 7 to 7.8. And if the pH of acid rain, you know, acid rain, you know, it means some acid like SO2 and NO2, which are known as acid gas. If they will mix with the rain, then they form the acid rain. Amliya Varsa. If then the pH of this acid rain, which is equal to 5.6 or less. Acid gas like NO2 and SO2, when they will mix with the rainwater, then the rainwater will be acidic in nature. That will be known as acid rain. And the pH of acid rain is less than 5.6, and which is harmful, because this acid rain whose pH is less than 5.6 mean the solution, the water or the liquid is more acidic in nature and then flow and reach to the river. It means the water of the river is also acidic in nature, and that acidic in nature reduce the efficiency, reduce the concentration of oxygen in the water. And if the water is acidic in nature in the river or pond or in anywhere water bodies, then it is very difficult for the aquatic animal to survive for a long period, and it may be cause, then they can be die, because the given solution is acidic in nature due to the presence of acid rain whose pH is 5.6 or it's less. For this, it is very difficult to survive. And now, what is the pH? pH pH in our digestive system. pH in our digestive systems. You know very well, when we take food, the digestion will take place in our stomach, and in life process, I think you know, our stomach contains some acid which is HCl, and that HCl is also beneficial for us because it not only kill the germs but also make the food acidic in mediums and easy to convert into simpler form. But if the mucus layer will destroy, damage, then it will be affected to our stomachs, means it may be cause different type of disease like ulcer. It means there will be a presence of HCl in our stomach which help in digestion of the food and also help to kill the germs. But in case of indigestion means when the digestion will not complete, during the process of indigestion means incomplete digestion, means the food is not converted into simpler form due to overeating or stale food, बासी खाना खाना या हमने ज़्यादा खाना खा लिया, and indigestion will take place. And due to the indigestion, that will be cause formation of acid in our stomach more and more. And due to that formation of more and more acid, it irritates and pain in our stomach. Pain stomach due to the formation of more acid. To get relief this acid which is formed due to the indigestion, the more acid it form and cause pain or irritation in our stomach, to get relief, this pain and irritation in our stomach can be reduced by taking the base, or we can say milk of magnesia, which is a mild base, means it act as a antacid and reduce the effect of acid in our stomach and make that undigested food or the formation of acid in our stomach, that concentration will reduce because that acid react with the milk of magnesia which is base, and that base neutralize or reduce the effect of acid and form salt and water, and we get relief. And therefore this milk of magnesia is also known as antacid, which reduce the effect of acid in our stomach. And this milk of magnesia, it means magnesium hydroxide, which act as a antacid to reduce the effect of acid in our stomach. This is the pH. And now move to next topic. And now you have seen so many, our tooth decay, pH of what? टूथ डिके, दांतों का सड़ना, मीन्स दांतों का खराब होना, मीन्स फॉर्मेशन ऑफ एसिड्स, बैक्टीरिया, मुंह में से बदबू आना, मीन्स इट इंडिकेट द प्रेजेंस ऑफ एसिड्स या फॉर्मेशन ऑफ एसिड इट टेक प्लेस, and germs are present inside our mouth which help to create the acidic in nature. And how this tooth decay or formation of acid in our mouth, that tooth decay will start when the pH of our mouth is 5.5 or it's less than, means tooth decay will start when the pH of our mouth is less than 5.5 or less than 5.5. But generally the hardest part of our mouth is tooth enamel, which is made up of calcium phosphate. Tooth enamel is the hardest part of our mouth, which is made up of calcium phosphate. This is the hardest part. It is not soluble in water. It only corrode. It only damaged. Why? Due to the formation of bacteria in our mouth, means in between the gap of the tooth. Means when we take sweet, chocolate, foods, that food particle will entangled in our teeth, in between the gap of the teeth, and they cannot remove, means they will entangle, and degradation of these food and chocolate or sweets, that cause formation of bacteria and acid in our mouth. Therefore, to get relief this formation of bacteria or the acid in our mouth, we generally use toothpaste. Toothpaste that is act as a base. Which reduce the effect of acid formation in our mouth. Therefore, generally we have to brush our teeth twice in a day. After eating at the night, means when we take meal after in night, then after taking meal we have to paste our teeth, means we have to use toothpaste, and 2 times we have to paste our teeth. In this way we can reduce the tooth decay or the formation of bacteria or germs in our mouth, which cause the damage of the tooth or teeth inside our mouth. And this way we can reduce the effect of the acids by using the toothpaste. And now you know very well. Next topic we will move salt. How the salt is formed? Salt, you know, when acid formation of salt formation. When base react with acid, it forms salt and water. And the salt, the nature of the salt may be acidic in nature, may be basic, or may be neutral. The nature of salt is either acidic, basic, or neutral. The simple example of salt is base NaOH plus acid HCl, that gives NaCl plus में H2O. This is the normal salt which we generally eat. And if I want to ask from you, what is the nature of NaCl, sodium chloride, the salt which we take as a food? And what is the nature of the salt? It is acidic, basic, or neutral? Generally we have to take either neutral salt or the basic salt. The nature of the salt can be determined with the help of nature of the acid or base. And here is NaCl. The nature of this NaCl is acidic or basic. We can determine NaOH is strong base. This is basic base which is strong, and this is strong acid. This is strong acid and this is strong base. That means here is a salt is formed. When the strong acid and strong base react to each other, then the salt will be neutral. Means we can say the pH of the salt, neutral salt is 7. Means we can say pH of the neutral salt is 7 pH, and here is pH of acidic salt is less than 7 and pH of basic salt is more than 7. And now how we can determine the nature of the salt? First, here is strong base plus strong acid form salt which is neutral salt plus में water. It means when strong base or strong acid react to each other, then the nature of the salt is neutral, or the weak base plus में weak acid combined together, that will be also give neutral salt plus में water. And in this case, this neutral salt pH is equal to 7. How this, if the salt is NaCl, and how we can determine this is acidic or basic? It means we have to divide in two parts. First part is Na, second part is Cl. It means first part is base, means NaOH, second part is acid, HCl. This is strong base, strong acid, that forms salt, and the pH is 7, therefore the salt is neutral. If the next point, if the base is strong base plus weak acid, if the base is strong, acid is weak, then it forms salt, and the nature of the salt is basic. It is basic salt. The nature of the salt is basic in nature. That means pH of this salt is more than 7 and plus water. Strong base, we can say that NaOH plus में weak acid CH3COOH, that gives, here is CH3COONA plus में H2O. Means we can say sodium acetate, and the nature of this salt is basic. Basic salt, nature of the salt is basic, mean the base which we take, that is strong, and the acid which is weak. Therefore, it forms the salt which is basic in. And now, if we take here is weak base and strong acid, then weak base, strong acid, here is the acid is strong, then the salt is acidic in nature, acidic salt plus में water. What is the weak base? NH4OH. We can take NH4OH or any take NH4OH plus HCl, that gives NH4Cl plus में H2O. When strong acid, then the nature of the salt is acidic in nature, and this pH is less than 7, means 0 to 6.9 or 6. If the salt is acidic in nature, then the pH of that salt is less than 7. If salt is basic in nature, then pH of that salt is greater than 7. If the salt is neutral, then pH of that salt is equal to 7. According to the universal indicator pH scale, which determined the presence of hydrogen ion, means more pH means less hydrogen ion. It indicates the less hydrogen ion. Less pH mean more hydrogen ion. More hydrogen ion mean more acidic in nature. And now we already know the salt is formed when NaOH plus HCl, that gives NaCl plus में H2O. This is the common salt we generally take with our foods. This is sodium chloride. And how it is formed? When sodium hydroxide react with hydrogen chloride, it forms sodium chloride and water. And now, generally this salt, you know it very well, महात्मा गांधी start सत्याग्रह दांडी मार्च, जिसमें नमक का खोज हुआ था. इसमें आपको करने के लिए कुछ रॉक साल्ट होता है, बट इट हैज सम इम्प्योरिटीज. रॉक साल्ट विच हैज सम इम्प्योरिटीज, और उसको बाय द आर्टिफिशियल मेथड से वी हैव टू remove the impurities from that salt. But the preparation of salt is only from NaOH base plus में HCl, that gives NaCl plus में H2O. The different substance or the compound we will obtain from the salt. NaCl is the raw material. NaCl is raw material. Raw material means we can form different product from the NaCl. First is NaOH, alkali, sodium hydroxide. Sodium, we can prepare sodium hydroxide from NaCl, and we can prepare NaHCO3 means sodium hydrogen carbonate, or generally what name, sodium bi for preparation of following प्रोडक्ट. मीन्स हम ये वाले प्रोडक्ट NaCl से बना सकते हैं. मीन्स डिफरेंट प्रोडक्ट कैन बी ऑब्टेन फ्रॉम द NaCl. मीन NaCl इज द रॉ मटेरियल फॉर डिफरेंट कंपाउंड, डिफरेंट प्रोडक्ट. मीन NaOH we can prepare from NaCl. Sodium hydrogen carbonate we can from NaCl. Mean NaCl is the raw material for sodium hydroxide. NaCl is the raw material for sodium hydrogen carbonate, and NaCl is raw material for Na2CO3 means sodium carbonate. It means sodium carbonate can also obtain from NaCl, and CaOCl2 means bleaching powder, calcium oxychloride, calcium oxychloride, or we can say bleaching powder. These are the different products we obtain from the NaCl salt, and the different product like NaOH alkali means sodium hydroxide, sodium hydrogen carbonate, sodium carbonate, and calcium oxychloride mean bleaching powder can be obtained from the common salt like NaCl. And first, the product which we obtain from the salt is NaOH. And how we can prepare NaOH? First one is NaOH, preparation of NaOH. Preparation of NaOH का preparation. NaOH can be prepared from salt. When the salt in what state? In liquid state. Mean when water is added to salt, NaCl means that is known as brine solution, means aqueous solution of salt. Mean when water is added to salt, that is known as brine solution. When the electricity is passed over brine solution, NaCl, that is salt, and this will be react with water and passing the electric current by the process of electrolysis. Brine solution, when electric current is passed through a brine solution, then it form. जब इलेक्ट्रिक करंट पास किया जाएगा ब्राइन सॉल्यूशन मीन एक्वा सॉल्यूशन ऑफ सॉल्ट मीन व्हेन वाटर इज एडेड टू सॉल्ट दैट इज ब्राइन सॉल्यूशन. व्हेन इलेक्ट्रिक करंट इज पास थ्रू दिस ब्राइन सॉल्यूशन देन इट फॉर्म NaCl प्लस में CH2 एंड प्लस Cl2. दिस इज गैस एंड दिस इज एक्वा सॉल्यूशन एंड दिस विल बी व्हाट इज दिस water, and this is the brine solution. It means when electric current is passed through the aqueous solution of salt, mean brine solution of brine solution, then it give, sorry, NaOH, which is sodium hydroxide alkaline. This is hydrogen and this is chlorine. This process is known as Chlor-Alkali process. Chlor-Alkali process is the process in which the electric current is passed through a brine solution. Brine solution means aqueous solution of salt. Aqueous solution of salt, that is brine solution. Then the product will give NaOH, chlorine and hydrogen. This process is known as Chlor-Alkali process. Why it is called Chlor-Alkali process? Because in this process the chlorine is formed and alkali means NaOH is formed. And where it is formed? It is formed at where? First is chlorine. Where is this chlorine is formed? At the anode. You know chlorine is negatively charged particle and which will be collected at the anode at the positive charge. Anode is positive charge, it will collected at the anode. And whereas hydrogen, it is collected as cathode, and cathode is negatively charged rod. Cathode, it is collected at cathode, and here is it is collected as near cathode. जब हम ब्राइन सॉल्यूशन में इलेक्ट्रिक करंट पास करेंगे तो हमारे पास क्या क्या आएगा? NaOH आएगा, हाइड्रोजन आएगा और क्लोरीन गैस आएगी. ये जो क्लोरीन है दैट विल बी कलेक्टेड एट द एनोड एंड हाइड्रोजन विल कलेक्टेड एट द कैथोड and NaOH, sodium hydroxide, is collected near the cathode. Sometimes it is asked during the process of chloroalkali where the chlorine, hydrogen and sodium hydroxide will collected. Means hydrogen collect होगी हमेशा कहाँ पर? कैथोड में. क्लोरीन हमेशा कलेक्ट होगी एनोड में और सोडियम हाइड्रोक्साइड कलेक्ट होगा नियर द कैथोड. And in this way we can obtain the NaOH, which is also known as chloroalkali process. Is it clear? And now move to next topic and how the bleaching. Now this is your, note it down first.